What's going on, everybody? The world's a better place because you're here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a Tuesday, the 17th of June, 2025. And let us recap and have a productive conversation on what was happening over the weekend. And before we do that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding this show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at ProdConvoPod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, don't you forget to check out our presenting sponsor. That is Magic Mind, the incredible elixir company that is there to help you enhance your lifestyle, whether it's through the green tea shots to enhance your focus, your gratitude, your mental clarity, and get you ready for the day ahead. Or you could have the sleep aid shots that will make you sleep like you are on a pillow or on a cloud, and you're on the cool side of the pillow, I should say. Go to magicmind.com/PCGUNE. That's PC June. Go to magicmind.com/PCGU. Sorry, JUNE. I said GUNE. Word. So go to magicmind.com/PCJune for 48% of your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. And check out the episode description below for that exclusive deal. Magic Mind, reclaim your brain. So it's Ryan and it's Allison and it's Jose to discuss the weekend. What's up, everybody?
How's it going, everyone? Long weekend. Long weekend.
Yes,
Good
Ryan's back
weekend. I
from
was away, so.
Kentucky. Welcome back
Mhm.
from Kentucky. How was
Yeehaw.
your weekend? Your brother's
Yeehaw
bachelor
D,
party.
by the way. Yeah. It
I
was
didn't hear that
good. It
last one.
was good. It was an interesting experience. We were in the middle of nowhere, for sure. So
You get a couple of strippers to come by?
there was nothing. Not even a
Oh,
gas station.
Jesus. What you guys did? Fucking on, like, read a bunch of Harry Potter books in
No, oh,
the
no.
fire.
Jose, I think you'd like my brother. We'll put it that way.
Oh,
But
no.
no, no, that didn't happen. We again, middle of nowhere, quiet lake. I mean, we found things to do. Rented a boat. We rented a houseboat, and then we rented a regular boat because the houseboat doesn't move. It's just a house that floats. But yeah, it was cool. It's a good time.
Nice,
Highly
nice.
recommend, by the way, Lake Cumberland Marina. Fun.
The Lake Cumberland Arena. What did you do in the Lake Cumberland
Marina.
Arena? Oh, Marina. Okay,
Marina,
cool,
yeah.
cool,
It's where the
cool.
boats are. Yep.
Allison, Jose, how was your weekend, guys and girls?
It was
Oh,
good. Crazy, but it was good.
I don't
Excellent.
remember what I did last weekend.
Oh man, must have been a real special one then.
I went to Sono, but that's about it.
Oh,
Like,
well, welcome
it was a
back
fun
from
weekend.
South Norwalk, Jose.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Great. But though, if did you guys know that over the weekend we actually had a strong social cause over the weekend? We had the No Kings protest take over this weekend, specifically on Saturday. The No Kings protest is a recent social and cultural movement, both online and in real life, centered around rejecting the idolization of powerful figures like celebrities, billionaires, influencers, and political leaders. It's part protest, part meme, and a part generational statement. And this in a reaction specifically to President Donald Trump on his birthday, on his 79th birthday, and on a day where he celebrated the 250th birthday of the United States Army. Amongst all of that, the people of the United States, and going up against him and what ICE is doing regarding immigration, decided to have protests across the entire United States. Hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people participating and marching against President Donald Trump and marching against immigration, specifically how ICE is handling immigration. Obviously, you're aware ICE is separating families, taking them apart, and sending them their merry way. And enough was enough to the American people. And there were various demonstrations of them peacefully protesting against that. Of course, we had some unpeaceful and unlawful protests. We talked about that a little bit last week in Los Angeles, but for the most part, it was a good ordeal, and people used their right to protest, used their First Amendment right to go up against the current administration. I thought that was awesome. I think that's cool. And you got my support, everybody. And for those who don't support that, you know, again, people have the right to protest. You don't have to like it, but as long as they do it peacefully, what's the problem?
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I went to the first No Kings one, like early on, and that was super not organized, not gonna lie to you. So I was not expecting a lot out of this, and obviously it was pretty well coordinated. There was, as Matt said, hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of people across the country. So hey, I'm happy to be wrong in this particular case. They definitely were more organized this time around, and that's cool. Like Matt said, they have thoughts, and in this country, you're allowed to express those thoughts as long as you do so in a way that's nonviolent, and that's what they did. So, like I said, I'm with Matt. Kudos to them for A, figuring it out, and then B, executing their First Amendment right, successfully, I would say. I hope successfully, but I think it was successful.
Exactly. It was some great stuff to see. And you know, again, you don't have to like it either, but who cares? People still coming together for a good cause, I think, whether you like or dislike what they're fighting for. I think it's a great thing to see. I really do. And hopefully we can continue the statements here, and who knows what can happen amongst these protests, right? Exactly. So good stuff there. And another thing that
Sure.
happened
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, there's, again, I don't really have much else to add besides my support and thought it was cool seeing what they did, but just keep the fight going to keep that passion going. Don't do it for social media clout. Do it because you truly believe um that an injustice is taking place, whether in immigration or against the current president's administration. I just hope that was made clear as well.
Actually, I do want to say one last very, very quick thing.
Yeah.
Uh, we talked about last week in Los Angeles, which was not related to this. That was before this, obviously. So those were separate, protests, right? But you do have to make sure if you are going to some of these things, if that's something you want to do, just be safe. Like, be careful. I know obviously this weekend was fairly low stakes. Everything remained peaceful. Nobody really pushed back. The one in DC, I know for a fact got canceled or whatever because they just did not want to have a confrontation with the president's parade,
Mhm.
the military parade he threw for himself or for the army, depending on who you ask. And so and obviously I think that was a smart decision personally. I think the impact was just as strong being across the country as it would have been being next to the other parade. But yeah, yes, obviously keep doing what you're doing, but also just make sure you're being aware of who's around you. It can sometimes be difficult to know who in a crowd is there because they, like you, really see something that they feel is wrong and want to make a difference or make a change, and those who are looking to create a little bit of chaos and fulfill this weird violent fantasy that a handful of people in this country seem to have about like a revolution or whatever. So just be careful, stay alert and be safe out there. I just wanted to add that. I think that's important given the uncertainty of the times that we're in.
Excellent point, Ryan, there. And he's right. Just be around, trust, but verify. as my father likes to say. So one thing that took place over the weekend too, in baseball, in the baseball realm, right? There was a major trade. Boston Red Sox swept the New York Yankees over the weekend. The Yankees scored 4 total runs in a 3-game span. And they're still not scoring runs at the time of this podcast, going in the 10th inning against the Angels, literally at 0-0. Baseball's really frustrating sometimes. But look at this. The Red Sox, far away in the division from the Yankees, but been playing better as of late. Could always go for the wild cards. A lot of wild card teams now, but the Red Sox decided to trade their best player. They traded the third baseman Rafael Devers away to the team. They traded him to the San Francisco Giants. The 3-time All-Star is going to the San Francisco Giants. In return, the Red Sox receive Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, 2 pitchers, and James Thibbs the third, and an outfielder and pitcher Jose Bello prospects. The Giants decided to take the hefty $260 million remaining on his deal that he signed last year, a 10-year deal. And yeah, this is probably amongst the rumblings that Rafael Devers was not happy with the Red Sox being a bad teammate. Off to a horrendous start before the season. He was off to a horrendous start when the season began, and a lot of people felt like he was literally tanking. The Red Sox acquired Alex Bregman from. He was a free agent, obviously from the Houston Astros. He's hurt now, but there was rumors that he was genuinely upset about that, and he was going to take his third base position. And yeah, they shipped his ass off. So again, anytime the Red Sox can embarrass themselves, I obviously support as a Yankee fan, despite this Patriot thing behind me. But I am in a certain spot where I can't take that off. But yeah, the Red Sox did this very silly move. This is definitely a payroll decision. And the thing is, though, when the Red Sox got new owners, these are the same owners that also traded Mookie Betts away to the Dodgers. So him and Rafael Devers, you trade away 2 generational players. Yeah, I can understand why the Red Sox fan is frustrated. And even though this is a little different, I know I saw an idiot online say this was the Luka trade of baseball, which is not.
No.
And I don't think it's even that much of a shock value because for 2 months we've heard about how unhappy he was.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Luka didn't want to leave. Rafael Devers definitely had one foot at the door. So, again, I think it's pretty wild that it happened anyways, once something becomes official. But if you knew baseball, this shouldn't be that much a surprise, of a surprise. If you're a Yankee fan, he was a Yankee killer. He's now literally on the other side of the country, so you don't have to worry about him anymore, especially Garrett Cole. And yeah, Red Sox doing this, and sometimes you really learn as the years keep going by how sports really is just a business at the end of the day too. And we've now at least seen in 2 different sports where I will compare the Luka trade is 2 generational players leaving to free up cap space to make their business life easier for the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So
This was a topic. This was a major topic of conversation. With all the guys that I was with, so
yeah,
shockwaves throughout
right.
everybody who's a baseball fan.
Right, like it's shocking in the sense that wow, they actually did it. But again, if you
You're right,
follow the
exactly. That's what I mean.
story,
And
this
also,
was inevitable.
yeah,
Plus, with this type of ownership,
yeah.
But see you later,
Actually,
Raphael.
National West, interesting.
Yeah, they can make it a little competitive, and the Giants have been waiting forever to make a big deal. Failed to get Aaron Judge, failed to
Right.
get Ohtani, failed to get Juan Soto. They finally are using all this money to pay a player, and we'll see if Rafael Devers will now step up. Will he, finally be motivated? He is on a good team, a young team, a team that could compete. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes too. But no more hating Rafael Devers because as a Yankee fan, because he's gone.
Yeah.
Gone. and what else happened over the weekend in sports. And I will say this: you really don't know something until it's gone. Caitlin Clark was injured for 2 weeks. She came back, and she made one hell of an impact. And no, it's nice for once to not talk about the racial injustice in the WNBA people think there is. No, we saw a generational player on her way to already be one of the best women's basketball players ever come back and show why she really is unstoppable. Let me show you some of these clips. Some of these clips in her return, taking on an undefeated New York Liberty team, by the way, and who they beat in the end of Fever. And yeah, Caitlin Clark balling. And I watched this whole game while watching the US Open. And like, she really is so much fun to watch. And if you like really honestly take the time to watch one of her games, not a highlight on ESPN, not a highlight online, like if you watch her play, she is so electric. She's an amazing passer. She obviously shoots the three. Her basketball IQ is off the chart. She plays defense. Caitlin Clark is such a great such a breath of fresh air. And again, the unnecessary controversy among her is so frustrating. Like, let this person who's literally changing sports cook. And I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Game. She had made 7 in a row over her last 2. Nicely done to get it inside to Mitchell. Caitlin Clark, eyes always up. You see her there, tongue wagging. What a great look to see how she threads the needle to Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell's so dangerous because she can drain that three-point shot, but you turn your head, forget rim out. New York up 4-2. Trying to go 10-0 for the first time in their history. Clark able to take Burke off the bounce. One rebound more a game than their opponents. Miss for Ionescu, and here comes Clark. This is one thing you get with Clark is great pace and great passes. Found Boston perfectly. Caitlin Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off.
This one's talking about. Season high 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 7 from 14 from the 3. And yeah, it's I understand you want to put controversy to garner up some kind of conflict, but just letting her cook like that against the best team in the WNBA right now, it's dope. And I really taking the time to sit and watch her play made me realize, like, wow, it makes sense why she is so special.
Yeah, I mean, that one play, I mean, what do you do when the entire court is fair game, right? I mean, she got that rebound that maybe took 3 steps before she was able to fire that thing off to somebody all the way in the other end to score. It's really hard to account for somebody like that who can literally play the entire court at any given time. And it speaks also to a selfless player in some ways. Obviously, she's a big star or whatever, but a lot of those highlights were she's not the one who got the points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
A lot of those highlights were assists, were leading the team, and I think that's something that some other players who are also very talented could probably gain some insight from if they were so inclined to do so. But that's not to say that she's the only good player or whatever. Like, obviously, Liberty was undefeated. A lot of good players on that team. But yeah, she's quickly proving herself to be certainly one of the more fun players to watch because it's still a novelty. She is still new, but also like can genuinely hang with some of the better, some of the other top athletes in the league. So, I don't know. I think it's cool that Indiana's got 2 teams right now, like 2 good teams that people are interested in right now. That's kind of interesting.
Well, the thing is, though, they're only interested in her Like they're not interested in her
Oh yeah, but they're
BFF
watching.
Sophia Cunningham or anything.
No, but I mean
But
they're watching the. I'm saying like the Fever and the Pacers are
oh no,
both.
yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean. But I'm saying though, obviously it's the jealousy. Obviously, it's hard for her to, you know, not have these haters off her back. But I think I really realized this weekend how like yeah, she really is she's something special. I can only say that. Not that I didn't think that before, but on a nice weekend where there's no Angel Reese to hate on her
Right. It's not
or
about the
no
rivalry. It's just
yeah,
the
no
play.
dumb things that the mainstream media is putting out there to make it seem like she's going through more obstacles. You just let her play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that sometimes. And last but not least on
Agreed.
the sports, as mentioned, Ryan, with the Pacers. Pacers are in the NBA Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. At this time, Game 5 is playing at the moment. OKC's blowing them out as we expected. But we have Stephen A. again, the most talked about public figure on Productive Conversations. Once again, getting caught in something silly. But this was, I believe, this had been game 3 or 4, right? And for somebody
Mhm.
who is a self-proclaimed basketball junkie and somebody who loves the game so much and somebody who's getting paid $25 million a year to cover sports for ESPN, well, literally in the moment there you have to do your job, not even watching. So we see right here, even playing solitaire when there's clearly a play going on. See that again? See him solitaire. Well, I support anybody who wants to train their brain, but I mean, just watch the game, bro. So we have this Stephen A.
That's pretty funny.
His response, yep, that's me. Who would have thought I can multitask, especially during timeouts? Hope y'all enjoy the finals. It's going 7 now. I literally showed you guys there's a play going on. It was a timeout. And then
Yeah, I
he
heard
tweets,
whistles and everything.
right. And he's tweeting this now, which you weren't watching this. I get it. You can multitask per se, but you have to focus on the fucking game first. Why is it so hard, Ryan? Why is it so hard for a public figure just to admit, yeah, you caught me, my bad? It's
Well, you want my conspiracy brain version of this?
I want both, yes.
Okay. In reality, I'll go with my reality first. It's just, frankly, that people, especially like Stephen A., who make their career off of being the alpha, being right all the time, being you know what I mean? It just weakens their brand. Like, his brand is that he's right. His brand is that he's, bombastic. So you're going to respond to any criticism that way. That's just how his branding is. However, my conspiracy theory, look at where the game is being played. Indiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's got to pretend that he was paying attention to the Pacers because in 2 years' time, he's going to have to go to neighboring Iowa for his presidential run. And he's got to make sure the folks in the Midwest still support him. Iowa doesn't have a team. They're Indiana fans, a lot of them. I'm just saying, this could very, very easily be him trying to do damage control for his nascent campaign to be president of the United States. That's my conspiracy brain. But reality is that this is just how he responds to basically anything that even looks like criticism, is to triple down immediately and make sure that anyone who said otherwise looks, or make sure he calls anyone who says otherwise stupid or silly. So there you go. That's both.
I
I
mean,
like the second option better.
I guess it is a very politician answer, even though, again, you literally are. It's a freaking play. Timeout. Oh my
Well,
god, you're
yeah,
insulting our
the
intelligence.
full on revision of what was happening is crazy.
Yeah, dude's a clown. Such a clown sometimes. All right, let's get
Also,
some deep
who plays
questions. Yep.
solitaire? I was just saying, who plays solitaire? I don't play. I don't like solitaire that much. But anyway,
I
sorry.
played it
Continue.
like at my grandma's during a game, like
Yeah,
with my
yeah. When I was a
computer. I
kid,
didn't
I
even know what I
played
was
it, right?
doing. I don't even know the rules to solitaire. I
Just
just click.
red, black,
Is
and
that what it is?
Well, and
yeah,
the numbers, right? Too. You can't you go in
number,
order with the
I just kept
numbers?
clicking
king,
cards.
queen, jack,
Yeah.
9876. Yeah.
Again, I do support brain games. I've playing them more. I can play chess on my phone when I have a couple minutes,
I
or
like chess.
Sudoku, or a crossword puzzle. I'm very pro training, using your brain, but not in a freaking finals game, and especially a finals that is a lot better than anybody expected, even though nobody's watching except hardcore sports fans and basketball fans like
Including
me.
including Stephen A. Smith, who gets paid to watch.
Yeah, right. So simple. Uh, silly, 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 silly. Okay, I'm going to now begin our two deep questions of this show. One music related, one movie related. So let's begin this. I came up with this question simply by rewatching this particular movie somebody was in. And I was like, man, that person is drop dead gorgeous. I was like, you know what? Let me ask my compadres here, and we could debate and get other people to comment on who they thought looked the most, on who they thought looked the sexiest in a movie. So that's our question, our first question. Who looked the sexiest in their movie? Like, who was drop dead gorgeous? You saw, like, wow, the camera's doing you justice throughout. Like, one of the nerdy answers I could do, if you've seen the movie Some Like It Hot, probably not.
Mhm.
None of you ever seen Some Like It
No,
Hot.
but
1959.
I know the movie, but no, I've not seen
Jack
Don't even know what
Lemmon, Tony
it.
Curtis.
No, I know of it, but I just didn't
I
see
know,
it.
I'm telling for most people, because most people don't watch movies past 1995. 1995 and earlier, people don't even give it the time of day. So this movie from 1959, nope. This isn't my pick. I'm going to let you guys first. I'll tell you my pick. But there's Marilyn Monroe in her first scene in that movie. She's boarding a train, and the camera does her justice. It made sense why she became a sex symbol for an entire century
What? Okay.
in Some
Sorry,
Like
not
It
you.
Hot. Yeah. So I mean, she was just like, wow. And Some Like It Hot's a movie about these two guys who are cross-dressing as women, right? It was like ahead of its time.
Mm.
And they pulled it off. But yeah, like her drop dead gorgeous. I want to hear you guys. Who was the who was the sexiest? Who is the sexiest in a movie? Who did you see? I'm like, man, the sexiest in the movie. Who absolutely looked the sexiest in a movie?
All right, Jose, you've got a new picture here for the folks who are watching on YouTube. So why don't you go first?
Obviously, I picked striptease. Demi Moore.
Right.
She was smoking hot. You definitely got me. That's all right. Definitely got me back.
I mean, yeah, she is. Absolutely great answer. Terrible movie, but great answer.
Terrible movie, great answer.
He's not wrong.
I'll-
You seen her clip on
No,
Letterman promoting that movie? Jeez.
mhm. I mean, just in general, she's very. I would say she's even still kind of attractive. You know,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
older now, but um, which is what made that one movie so disappointing.
I still smash.
God forbid.
Yeah, I'm about to say that surprises me, Jose. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're always so discerning with who you want to get intimate with. So, but anyway, I was gonna go. I'm still gonna go with Margot Robbie, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
I think. What
I
do you
don't
mean,
disagree. I don't disagree. I was like, that's an easy one.
Well, the easy one. I mean, it's true. So picked it because it's true. The bathtub
You're
scene
right.
alone.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Good one.
Yeah, the bathtub scene alone makes that a good pick, and that's not even the only scene. But also, if you want a more like serious answer about why it could be like Margot Robbie, at least in my mind, I didn't know much about her before that movie. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then that
kickstart her
movie kind
career.
of, yeah, and that movie kind of, not in addition to kickstarting her career, made her a like an icon in the way that so many before her have become an icon for their for their the way they look. And I think that that's directly related to her future successes in roles about gender, and about, feminine wiles. So, in addition to being just ambiguously incredibly attractive in the movie, it also kind of, started a whole career, which is like, I would say pretty cool to be super attractive and get a whole career built off of it. That's like an impressive feat, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Good answer.
I have two, but I'm gonna
Ooh.
say Zac Efron and 17 again, 2009.
How old was Zac
I
Efron in
was
17
13.
again?
I
How
was
old?
That's like
13.
that
Right,
makes
but how
sense.
old was Zach is what I'm saying. No, it's
How
fine.
old?
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
Zach had
actually
it.
don't know.
I'm sure he
An
was old.
adult.
Yes, exactly.
No, but yeah, I don't know if y'all have seen that movie, but
I
basically,
did.
yeah, I do love that movie.
I
But the
actually,
scene when he's
uh,
getting out of the car, like he reinvented himself, and he's in that like nice little like
mhm.
silver sports car, and he gets out and he has that white tee on and those black skinny jeans, and he has the leather jacket and then those aviators he throws on. He like flips his hair.
Mm-hmm.
He looks so good.
I actually took a girl on a date to that movie. That's true.
How about that? 17 again. And don't you have another one, Allison? One more?
And then I said Ryan Gosling primarily in like Crazy Stupid Love.
Great movie, by the way.
It was
I
a
do
good
love
movie. I've
that
seen
movie.
that one.
I love that movie. The scene where he's at the mall and it's like they have that music playing. He's eating that pizza. Yeah. He also has aviators on and he's in a suit.
Have you considered it might just be aviators that you like?
No, no,
That's the common denominator.
the common denominator.
For sure. All right. And my answer, it's gonna be not necessarily a random movie. It's definitely a cult classic. But I was watching this movie over the weekend just for fun. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies, one of my favorite Arnold movies. And I'm not talking about Arnold in this. But I think, and you'll love this if you've seen this, specifically Sharon Stone in Total Recall. I mean, look at this
Mm.
gorgeous natural look. And again, if you've seen the movie or not, she has a crazy heel turn, but she was looking good in this movie. Kid.
I thought you
You
were gonna
see,
see Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies.
that's another good one. Jamie Lee Curtis, young Jamie Lee Curtis in a lot. Jamie Lee Curtis and that. Jamie Lee Curtis and um what's that movie? In Trading Places. Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie with John Travolta about the thrusting. But yeah,
What?
Sharon Stone, what a talent. And as for our
I've
next,
not seen. Oh,
Hmm?
sorry. I was gonna say I've not actually seen that Total Recall. Didn't they make a
Yeah, they remade it with
TV
Colin
series?
Firth.
Yeah, and I did
You
see
saw
that
that
or
one?
whatever. I did see
That's
that, but I
that's
did
a
not
waste,
see.
man. That movie's
Yeah.
amazing. Great practical effects, awesome
Mm,
stakes, great Arnold performance. Arnold one-liners are awesome. Highly
of course,
recommend
yeah.
that one. So why don't we now switch to our other question? A question that's been debated forever,
Hmm.
and it's time to debate it here once and for all. Let me ask you, Ryan, Jose, and Allison, who has better music, Beyonce or Taylor Swift?
I think we should start with Allison.
Why? I want to hear what y'all have to say.
Well,
I
everyone
think we
knows
need
you
to.
who you're gonna pick.
Yeah, I think we all kind of know who you're gonna pick. So I just kind of want to give you this platform
I
now to
even went
lay out the
in
case.
and looked up all like I like told I wrote down like my while I can't get the words out. I wrote down like a bunch of lyrics that support this theory and
Okay, that's
so
what I mean. I want to give you the platform.
so not only that woman, but if we're talking about music specifically, she not only writes all her own music, but she promotes that artists have the right to own and record and have the ability just to own their own music, which she recently has achieved with her own music. Um, her lyricism is top tier. It's very poetic, very real. I guess if y'all want some examples, oh my god, there's so many, guys. This is so hard. So some are: my knuckles were bruised like violets, sucker punching walls, cursed you as I sleep talk, spineless in my tomb of silence, tore your banners down, took the battle underground. Those are lyrics. Like, that's not even a poem. Those are literally lyrics. Another one that's pretty good is 6 weeks of breathing clean air. I still miss the smoke. Were you making fun of me with some esoteric joke? Now I want to sell my house and set fire to all my clothes and hire a priest to come and exorcise my demons, even if I die screaming, and I hope you hear it. So,
Who hurt you, Taylor?
who hurt Taylor? Who hurt me? I'm not sure. But a lot of her songs really do resonate and help. And she has a song for every single emotion, I'm convinced. Like, if you want upbeat, you obviously could go to Shake It Off or something like very upbeat. She has songs about grief. She has songs even that tell stories about like a man cheating on his wife and then her and her best friend killing him. Like, it's just things like that. So the floor is now y'all's.
Right, all right. I'll say strong case actually, for Taylor Swift there. I had a hard time picking with this. I won't lie to you actually. And I didn't think I would, but I tried to take this seriously, and not just pick the answer of not Taylor because, you know, that's just what I do. Um, and I agree with most everything you just said. Actually, I do like the stories. I do like the range of the stories. All that stuff about Taylor Swift, I actually do like. Ultimately, to me, honestly, and this again, maybe a cop out, came down to personal preference. I don't. I can't begrudge anyone who tries to make the case for either one of these women as the most, important female pop star of the current day, right? But just thinking about what songs am I more likely to listen to on my own, and it is usually Beyonce. I do think also there is something to be said about while they had obviously different careers, there's some mirrors. So I think a lot of the things that people are like, oh, but Taylor did this, Taylor did that. I think you could look at Beyonce and make similar cases. Like, yes, Taylor Swift started very young. That's obviously very hard to do. Beyonce, on the other hand, did something almost equally as hard to do. She broke out of a girl group. I mean, the girl groups and boy bands, we talked about both on the show before. Usually only one person, if anybody, makes it out into something akin to superstardom. Um, and it was her. Like, that's a hard feat to do. It's not typically done. So I think that, and then, she's done different genres, all that good stuff. I don't know if she writes all of her own lyrics or not, but I do think that she's got plenty of lyrics that are I don't think they're quite as, story driven, narrative in most cases. But I do think they still speak to something in people. Especially the ones that are less um like less pop. You know what I mean? Like Single Ladies is obviously meant to be like a dance song at like a club or whatever. But if you listen to some of the other ones, I mean she does a song called Ave Maria. It is not the Ave Maria, but that's obviously the refrain in it. That's, it's basically about a bunch of different people praying, essentially. So, I think that you can find these things in both of their careers. And so from that, I'm like, all right, well, who do I like? Who would I listen to? And the answer is Beyonce. So I'm gonna go with Beyonce for those reasons, and those reasons alone. I think both have plenty good cases, but I just happen to like Beyonce's music better, personally.
Jose. Then I'll go.
I already know who Jose is.
What I'm gonna say. What do you think I'm gonna say?
I think you're gonna say Beyonce.
Of course I am, but Taylor Swift is for pussies. If men want to listen to Taylor Swift and grow vaginas, like, let's go ahead. I mean, you're all for that. It's all it is breakup and sad songs. Oh, I've been broken up.
Beyonce's
Boo-hoo.
written songs about breakups.
Beyonce, but single ladies empowerment. There's more songs about that. It's like, yeah, so where the single guys at? That's what I feel like when I listen to single ladies. Fucking, I can't even think of
She's
one
written
song.
songs like Irreplaceable. That's kind of sad.
Aries,
Irreplaceable was an
Irreplaceable.
awesome song.
A very
Yeah,
good
but
song.
listen, point is, if I listen to Taylor Swift, my mental cycle is gonna start, and I didn't even know I had one. Listen to that shit.
I just think
So
that's a
Beyonce,
very sexist comment.
okay,
I-
but it's an honest comment, so I'll take that.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, I want to say this though. Like, is anyone actually claiming? And this is open to everybody. Is anyone actually claiming that guys listen to Beyonce, by and large?
Everyone listens to
Like, I'm just being
Beyonce.
honest. No, I know, but
I know
let's
plenty
just
of
be
guys that
on.
listen to both.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's just be on. No, let's just be honest in general. Like, how many guys are like, dude, I'm putting on Beyonce. I mean,
do think
one,
some. Yeah, I
maybe
do
two
think
songs.
some. There are some
Some,
good
yeah,
ones.
no,
Yeah.
of course, there's always some. I mean, there's some who say that about Taylor Swift. I'm sure, maybe less, but that's not really my point. My point is like neither one of those artists is shooting for guys. Like that's not what they're looking for in either case. I think that's fair to say that neither one of them is like all that interested in making sure guys actively feel like they can listen to them. You know what I mean? Like they're both clearly for women. They both have songs about empowering women, like many songs about it. So I don't know. I feel like it's weird to be like, oh, like Taylor Swift is that much more of a woman's artist. I think they're both fairly feminine coded. You know what I mean? I do think that Beyonce has more of, she's got more of that R&B background. And I do think that maybe helps. There's an edge to Beyonce that Taylor Swift does not have, but
Can
like
we
that's
also can we also
minuscule.
can we also say Beyonce went into Taylor's world in country music and won a Grammy? I
Yeah,
do not
she
see
did.
Taylor Swift get into that R&B and winning anything. So on
No,
that
I mean
note,
that's true as
Beyonce.
well. You could absolutely, I think you could make that, about versatility and even vocal versatility. Like, no offense, Allison, I think that Beyonce is a much stronger singer than Taylor Swift. Like, just from a purely technical standpoint, her voice is stronger. That's not to discredit Taylor Swift as a musician. I've never seen Beyonce play an instrument. Doesn't mean she can't. I've just never seen it. Taylor Swift plays several, so I'm not. Again, this is not a critique of either one of them as musicians, but just purely listen to both of them sing. One of them's got a
Ryan,
much stronger voice,
what do
and
you
it's
mean?
Beyonce.
What do you mean Beyonce doesn't play an instrument? You see her shake her ass. That ass is an instrument in its own right.
No, that's dancing, which she also does better than Taylor Swift. But um, I was just saying, like, generally speaking, if you're looking at who's got the stronger vocal cords, right, the more powerful notes, and it is Beyonce. And the music calls for it, whereas Taylor's just not as much. But I do think that that's a fair critique as well about the singing. But that's kind of hard because, like, I don't know. There are good country singers and stuff who could never do rock or pop, and you wouldn't be like, oh, they're trash or anything like that. And I feel like you pick a genre and you get good at it, and that's what you're good at. I don't know.
But both of them have explored various different genres. I think both of them
Well, no,
well in
yeah.
various
Yeah,
different
let me
genres.
put this argument to a case. Beyonce's has the better music. She's the better artist. She has anthems that have lasted generations, from Single Ladies to Crazy in Love to, that Irreplaceable, as you said. She has people from every single ethnic background dancing, feeling the love and
That's Taylor
everything.
Swift.
With all due respect to Taylor Swift, I think she really hits a certain demo and that's
Black
it.
people do listen to Taylor Swift.
I didn't
so don't
say
even
that.
give me
I
that
didn't
argument.
say that. I didn't say that. I didn't
I
say
was
that.
waiting for you to
I
say
didn't
it.
say that.
Took
I
it from
didn't
you.
say that. I didn't say that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know Taylor Swift is your girl, but Beyonce, similar to like a Michael Jackson, has hit all ethnic backgrounds and people dance around, and Taylor Swift hasn't done that. She just hasn't. She's not the closest
I mean,
thing
I
to have a
picked
Michael
Beyonce,
Jackson
and
is
I don't
somebody.
agree with that.
All right, tell me.
I said I picked Beyonce, and I don't
I
agree
know.
with
Tell me.
You
that
Tell me.
haven't
particular
Tell
seen
me
part.
the
why.
you
Then.
haven't seen like the people on TikTok who literally
No, that's what I'm
various
saying.
different ethnic
First of all,
backgrounds who
I want to
literally
say one thing. This
listen to
isn't a
Taylor's
race
music for
thing.
the
I
first
said
time and
ethnic
they
background.
actually credit her as an artist.
First things first. I didn't say race. I said
I
ethnic
just said
background.
ethnic backgrounds. I didn't
No,
say
you literally
anything
said,
about race.
as I said to Jose last week, we can't talk over each other. The thing about Beyonce, she hits people from all backgrounds, all different backgrounds in this world in a very special way. And for someone
And
who's
I
performed at
just
the Super
said
Bowl
that. I
twice,
just said that happened.
you said that for Beyonce, Taylor
Right. So
Swift, I haven't seen Taylor Swift have that kind of global
I said they
impact.
both.
Okay, but Beyonce does it better and more, if you want me to answer that.
Okay.
And again, and you
Well,
can
I'm not
agree
gonna
or
let you
disagree.
throw the race stuff in my face when
I didn't say
Listen,
race. I didn't
It
say
wasn't a
race.
race thing,
I never
though.
say race
hold on,
once.
hold on,
Hold on.
hold up, hold up.
Listen, nobody's denying the cupcakes listen to Taylor Swift. Nobody's denying it. I agree with
Jeez.
you.
Hold on. Let me just.
I said
Because I said something. I
said-
want to just finish my thought. No, I know.
I know.
That's
I'm
not what
trying to
gonna
make it
talk
clear
about.
since I'm
I
getting
said I did-
berated on
I
that.
heard what you said. No, you're not gonna be
I say
berated. I
one thing
disagree,
and you
but it's
automatically
not
feel
berated.
attacked. That's not how I'm
I'm not
talking.
didn't say
hold
that.
on,
I didn't say
hold
that.
on.
I didn't say that.
I actually agree.
I said ethnic
Okay.
background,
I agree with.
ethnicities, not race.
I
Ethnic
And then I said
backgrounds. That's
ethnic
I know.
backgrounds after
No,
you.
you're the one saying
Okay,
and
hold
saying
on,
the
you
race.
guys.
came at me about race.
I didn't
Hold
fucking
on,
say
Pete,
that.
Hold on.
I
What?
didn't. You're the one saying it. You're literally bringing up that word. I only bring it up now to defend what you're
Okay,
accusing
I'm
me
not
of.
gonna do this.
Okay,
You're
hold on.
saying.
I'm saying that so my disagreement actually just comes with the fact that she just came off a massive world tour. I think they both clearly have global fans. I think that you can make the case that one of them does it better, as Matt did, and that's totally fine. But I do think it would be inaccurate to say that Taylor Swift does not have a global impact that spans across multiple ethnic backgrounds. She's gone down into, South America. She's gone over to Europe. She's clearly got, into as well as Asia. She's clearly got fans globally, as does Beyonce. I do think there is something to Matt's point, and some of this is just age, right? About doing it longer. And again, you can't control when you're born. So this is not even a thing that either one of them can control. Beyonce's older. Beyonce has had a very long career. She started very young, as did Taylor Swift, but she's just physically older than Taylor Swift. So she's been doing this longer than Taylor Swift. And so she's had time to have all of those songs that broke out, right? When she was part of a girl group, she's had time with with Sasha Fierce and with these other early albums to really have a lasting impact. And again, that's not to say Taylor Swift hasn't. I mean, songs like "Shake It Off" are, I think, very much something that most everyone on the planet has heard and has hummed along to or bopped their head to. Like, The Rock did that whole the lip sync thing with "Shake It Off," right? Like, and that went like hyper viral. Obviously, The Rock was a part of that, but still, yes, I would disagree with the characterization that we haven't seen Taylor Swift appeal to people across the globe, because we have. She just had a massive global tour. You can make the case that one does it better than the other. Some of that comes down
Which
to
I
personal
did.
preference, of course. No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
that.
No, yes, no. I would say again. I agree with you. I picked Beyonce, so it's not like I'm defending Taylor because I picked Taylor. I'm saying, like, I just disagree with the idea that Taylor Swift has not shown a global impact, because she has. Clearly, she has. She's changed the economy of places. You know what I mean? Like, so it's clear that she has a global impact, in my opinion. And then as to the longevity thing, I think that some of that comes from just being older. You compared her to Michael Jackson. I actually do like that comparison.
Yeah.
Partly because of the genre. Michael Jackson also had a more similar, it wasn't R&B per se, but a more similar trajectory from, like being in the Motown groups, the Jackson 5, to then being a pop star, and having anthems over many generations, as Beyonce has had. Again, personally, because of the genre, I don't know that Taylor Swift will. I don't know that Michael Jackson will ever be a good comparison for Taylor Swift. But there are other artists who have had Michael Jackson impacts on music that Taylor Swift could be a comp for. And
Yeah,
so
and with that, I
some
just
of that,
think Beyonce has
Right.
had the closest thing to Michael Jackson, again, on all ethnic
which
backgrounds,
I
all
would
humans in this world.
agree.
I
I would
think
agree
she
that
did that
she's
better
got.
than Taylor. so far.
Right, and I don't
And
I don't know that
I don't
Taylor's
think
music.
Taylor can do that. I don't
Well,
think her
I don't
music
think
can
Taylor's.
hit that. I
I
think
agree.
Beyonce's hit
I
a
don't think that
special
it
mark.
can. But I do think. I mean, you look at somebody like a Bob Dylan or something, and I'm not trying to. Again, people are gonna blow up my spot for saying it anyway, so I'll just say it. I think you could end up making a comp between Taylor Swift and like Bob Dylan. And that's not to say Bob
I think
Dylan
so too.
is as famous as Michael Jackson or less famous or more like that's not what the point of that. My point is like
Yeah.
anyone who knows anything about music knows that Bob Dylan is a seminal artist who is one of the most important musicians to ever be in popular music. That's just true about Bob Dylan. He revolutionized industry, not just songs, not just genres, but industry. And Taylor Swift has done that. Factually, she's done that. I've even made that case on our Taylor Swift pod all those years ago about what she did with Spotify. By the way, check out the Taylor Swift pod because it's relevant to this conversation. But like, I think you can make that comp, and honestly, people would kill to have that comp made about them.
Absolutely.
There's artists who would love that comp. So I just think they're too different. And that's why, again, I had to just go at the end to personal preference because you can make the case for either one of them if you really tried. You know what I mean?
Right. For sure. And, that's just how it is. Whether, it doesn't matter at the end of the day whether we agree or disagree. Music is music, and we're here to
Right.
enjoy. And that's
about
what
preference.
these debates are, and they are always good for clips too. So, regardless, though, we'll leave it at that. I will say, if anything, I think if you're a certain generation, whether you are playing a Beyonce song or a Taylor Swift song, you probably during the cord headphones era, you probably had to deal with this at one point. And this is what I'm talking about. You remember the struggle with these headphones?
Oh.
Classic. Absolutely classic. Where you had to position your cord a certain way just so you can bounce and listen to something, right?
That thing still happens to charging, by the way. Like when you have an
Really?
old phone.
The old
That
ones, yeah.
happens to
Like,
me
do you
all the
have
time.
do you have the USB-C? Does your phone is it USB-C yet? Are you on that?
Yeah, no, I've got the 16 now. But like
Yeah.
my last phone, as it was
Right.
dying, it was like literally I had to like angle everything in such a way that it was like I had to like balance it like on like books and things like off a wall just to get it to charge. And I was like, I'm not getting a charging pad because I was like, I just can't deal with this. You know what I mean? But no, I remember that very well, and it's still I get the flashbacks every time. You know, once my phone gets like 5, 6 years old, I get the flashbacks as the wires stop working and charging it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. I haven't had as many issues when you switch to the USB-C, but yeah, never again. You don't want to go through that if you don't have to.
Do they even make wired headphones anymore, guys?
Yeah.
Really?
At least
I
you're
don't know
talking
if I've
about
ever
like
seen one.
I don't see them a lot, but I think it just depends on the equipment you use. I mean, I'm using wired for this, but
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
oh,
I
you're
have a
you're
wire for
talking
this.
about
I
the
meant for
AirPods, yeah.
yeah, for the iPhone. I do they even
I
make
don't
an
think
option
so.
anymore?
I feel like if you want to be, you know, a novice, I guess you can do that back in the day.
But don't you have to
If you
like
want to do
buy
that.
an adapter and stuff now?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it
You have to
becomes a
buy an
whole
adapter.
process.
They don't even match the phones anymore. It's like buying a viral record player. If you want to do that instead of just playing it. If you want to be a throwback type of person.
Right, you want to make a statement about yourself more than anything.
Exactly. So PCU is a movie, right? PCU is a movie that came from 1994. So the movie's 31 years old. And there's a clip regarding this movie. The clip, the quote from Quantum Altered X. This movie was calling out everything, even the current thing NPCs at the end. So I guess this movie, I haven't seen this movie. I'm gonna look for it. But it's called PCU. Let me just read you the thing, right? PCU about a college life at a fictional Port Chester University and represents the quote exaggerated view of contemporary college life, end quote. Stars Jeremy Piven and Chris Young and David Spade, right?
Jeremy Piven and David Spade.
Yeah, so regardless, though, there's this clip that you could say, quote unquote, predicts the future. So let's play this clip and tell me if you agree or not regarding how society is now back compared to 31 years ago then.
It was last week.
So you tell me. Obviously, they're trying to satirize they're trying to satirize PC culture, which, I mean, something similar like this was on South Park as well. Now, whether you support or disapprove this film or what they were saying, do you feel that was an accurate representation on what is happening now, but maybe different terms in people? I just think the idea of, hitting political correctness is still obviously a thing all these decades later. That some people want to cross the line, some people want to avoid that line. And whether this film did a good job actually doing that, that's up to you as the viewer. But I think the idea of political correctness, cancel culture, all of that is still obviously talked about today. And that'll be a timeless theme moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, again, accurate is not the word I would use, but it is satire, to be clear. I was not anticipating them to have a completely true to life viewpoint of what it means to, try and, have a cause, political correctness, all that good stuff. Just again, no, to answer your actual direct question, I don't see it as accurate. I don't believe they were trying to make it accurate. But what I did find interesting about, and again, this is from 1994, this is before I was around. And it's interesting to me that how far back apparently these sort of critiques have gone. I mean, again, this is the same critique as basically every right-wing influencer has about American society. Like, literally, this is an episode of Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro. You could literally plug them in. Especially when it comes to college campuses, frankly. Like, college campuses are like a favorite for that sort of content. So I guess in my mind, it was a newer thing. It's presented, frankly, as a newer thing, right? Everyone's like, oh, things are getting out of hand. Things are going too far. Nobody looks at 1994 and says it was too woke. Nobody does. Not Republicans, not Democrats, not anybody. But this movie was from 1994. And this movie was critiquing what Republicans in particular would consider woke culture. And so I think that's interesting for two reasons. One, because that means it's not new. It means it spanned several presidencies, several administrations, several world events, and has been around. So when something has been around that long, a lot of times that usually is an indication that it's not that bad, maybe even good. Just food for thought. We kind of present it as people are changing America, but 1994, apparently this was happening too. So we haven't changed it that much. You know what I mean? So that's number one.
Exactly.
And then number two,
Haven't
I think what's
changed that
interesting
much.
about it. All right, exactly. And then the last thing was just the presentation of guys as these right-wing machismo figures, and that being a hero. That's also not new. And that gets talked a lot recently with Gen Z and all that stuff that's happened with them. But 1994, that was still how culture was presenting guys. So I don't know. We wonder why guys end up thinking the way they think about certain issues, and then you go back to 1994 when we were presenting college guys in that exact same way. It's almost like our culture maybe had something to do with the way that guys view themselves. But
For sure.
I thought those are the two things that I took away from it more than anything. Is one, yeah, exactly. You heard what I said. Those are the things I took away from it.
I think that's a great way to break it down. At the end of the day, as with most anything, it's all about those egos at the end of the day. So many egos and so many egos in this world. And Ryan, you and I love Succession. You remember when Logan once said, sometimes it is a dick swinging contest. And a clip like that shows somebody trying to do that too. Like, again, I don't even agree with most of the things said there. It's just people trying to right the wrongs. It's people trying to get their view in there. They're just trying their best to seem more important than they are. You know? And
I hear you.
that's what I have to say there on that. So I'll end this show with this. A couple of raging Italians, raging Italian instances, right? And let's begin with raging Italian. First, signing him up for volunteer work. How do you think the raging Italian reacted to that?
I think it depends on the volunteer work.
I've been wasting a half hour to find something.
What are you doing Sunday?
Fucking relaxing. That's what I'm doing. I'm fucking Sunday. I got nothing to do. I'm fucking taking these. Don't even ask me to do something.
That's funny you said that.
What's so fucking funny? I'm not doing shit. I'm not taking you anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
You're right. You're not taking me. You're going to volunteer work.
Volunteer work? What are you fucking talking about? Since when do I didn't
You know
volunteer
Remember
for
Miss
shit.
Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're planting flowers in the Rotary.
So what the fuck does that have to do
I
with
signed
me?
you up to help, idiot.
Why would you fucking sign me up to fucking plant flowers? Are you fucking kidding
I
me?
thought it'd be a nice gesture, dude.
Then you fucking do it. Don't volunteer
No,
my
'cause
time.
she's excited you're going.
Now I can't fucking get out of it. I look like a fucking dick.
Yeah, you
Why
do.
would you fucking sign me up there without asking me?
'Cause you don't
I
do-
don't do fucking volunteer work.
You don't do anything on Sundays.
I'm always fucking busy, dude. This was the worst fucking weekend to fucking ask me to do that.
Well, too late. You're doing it.
I'm not fucking doing it. Go tell. You know what? Now I look like a fucking jerk off if I don't show up.
You're down
You're
there
a
scooping
fucking
dick.
asshole. Guess what? You're gonna fucking come with me. I'm gonna be like, guess what, Miss Robinson? I brought my son along for more fucking help because he's over here fucking all
Not happening.
styles. You're fucking bullshit. You're
I'm
going
out.
with me. I'm not fucking
I'm out
going
Sunday.
alone. No. I ain't going alone Sunday. Fucking fun.
I guess.
Wow,
the more
I was not
watch
expecting
this-
that reaction.
Really? What you thought? What you think?
I thought he was going to be more like, I mean, obviously he's going to yell. He's the raging Italian. But, I thought he was going to be more yelling about, like, like you can't sign people up or whatever. Like, the fact that he was, I was surprised that he was that upset about volunteering as opposed to the fact that his son just signed him up for something. I mean, he was upset about both. But he made it very clear that he doesn't volunteer. I'm like, that's a choice to put on camera. Granted, he maybe doesn't know he's on camera at this point.
Also,
But,
the idea that
yeah.
also the idea that I like that he's willing to just accept it. If he really was a bad dude, he still would say, "I'm not going."
Yeah, exactly. No, he's still gonna go because he clearly cares about not upsetting people and leaving people in
Yeah.
the lurch, right? But it's just interesting that he was like, I don't volunteer. I was like, if you're gonna go anyway, you might as well just leave that part on the inside. You know what I mean?
I do, and I guess the more I watch this, I realize, man, this could probably be me when I'm in my late 50s, and my kids driving me nuts.
I
So
can
watch
almost
this.
positively say it will be you in your 50s, but that's neither here nor there.
So we got this one, right? You know what, the bed where you
I
have
mean-
to.
Okay.
Oh,
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I fucked my stomach. I fucking shit the bed.
What the fuck you talking about?
Oh.
You shit the bed. The
Holy
fuck is wrong with you?
What?
What are you fucking 3?
Dude,
How
my-
did you fucking shit the bed?
Dude, my fucking stomach was hurting so bad. Who the fuck?
How the fuck would you shit the bed?
Dude, my fucking stomach was killing me, dude.
Get up and go take a shit then. The
couldn't-
fuck you mean you fucking shit the bed?
I fucking.
Are you fucking?
Dude, look at it.
Get that fucking shit away from me. You're fucking disgusting.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, fucking get out of here.
I do. We want me to go.
Fucking gross, dude.
What?
Go wash your fucking hand. You coming down here and fucking.
Because my fucking ass.
Why are you fucking coming down here?
Dude.
Go to your fucking bathroom and
Dude.
wash up. Get the fuck out of here with that
Dude,
bullshit, dude.
it's leaking out of my fucking shorts, dude.
Get the fuck out of my living room, you fucking asshole. It's disgusting.
Dude.
You're gonna drip it on the fucking, yeah. You're fucking sick in the head,
Dude,
dude.
what- come here, dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
Come here, dude.
Dude, the fuck. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of the fucking asshole. You're fucking disgusting.
Dude, I got it. Fucking here.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's really upset. He's like,
Yeah, he's upset. He just rubbed. I mean, obviously it's not, but
probably like
from
Nutella
his
or
perspective.
something.
But from his perspective, right? I mean, Is there anyone on this call who would not
No.
physically, remove that person from their space? Well, by hook or by crook?
So weird. So weird. And the last
No,
one.
I'm serious. I'm actually asking. Is there anyone who would sit there and let that happen to them?
Oh no, because it's literally toxic to the
Well, not
humans
toxic,
like that.
but
It can get you sick, right?
I mean, you
Oh,
can
of
depending on
course
if it's
not.
infected.
Well,
Yeah,
jeez.
that was reasonable. The volunteer one to me wasn't reasonable. That one was reasonable.
Reasonable. The quote unquote reasonable crash out. And finally, we got, am I adopted?
Now.
Go ahead.
Am I adopted?
The fuck kind of question is that?
Well, it doesn't make sense.
You and I look so much like me. What do you mean, are you adopted? How do you think that would fucking happen?
I'm part Dominican. You're Italian. How the fuck does that add up?
Your fucking mother's half Dominican. That's how it fucking happens.
She looks white.
Her father was full fucking Dominican from the Dominican Republic, you asshole.
Okay, so you admit that we're part Dominican now.
I've never denied it. You're a fucking quarter Dominican.
Well, I think I'm adopted, dude.
How the fuck are you adopted? Everyone says
Look
you
at
look
you
just like me.
and look at me.
What about it?
Look at my hair. Look at your hair.
I got fucking straight hair. You got curly hair. That doesn't mean you're fucking adopted, you fucking
I think I'm
jerk.
adopted. How the fuck is that?
How the fuck you look just like me? How could you be adopted?
I do now just like you, dude.
Everyone says you should wish you looked like me. Everyone says
I don't
you
want that fucking Pennywise
everyone
head.
fucking tells me you look like me.
Your head looks like a figure eight.
I don't know what to tell you. Everyone tells me you look like me.
Oh, I
How the
definitely
fuck
look
would
like
you be
you.
adopted? Where did you get this idea from?
Because look at us, dude. We look completely different. I'm better
When
looking.
did you fucking decide you're adopted?
I'm better looking. You're kind of
When
weird
did you
looking.
fucking decide you're adopted? It's a fucking
Now.
jerk off thing to fucking say.
Jerk off
Jerk
thing to
off.
say.
It's fucking jerk off shit. Adopted.
So I gotta ask you something. Like,
I'm dead. I'd feel some type of way too, raging
I
Italian.
did see that comment. That was like the first time I saw him crack a smile, and I saw it too. He was clearly enjoying this particular argument. And obviously, he still screamed, but
I feel like
he was
it's
clearly he found it somewhat amusing.
It's like sometimes there are some arguments that are just so dumb, so like either you're clearly trolling or like what is wrong with you type of moments.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hilarious. It really is. But regardless, though, it's good work for tonight, everybody. Praise everything in this world. We'll see you throughout the week. We got another sports recap. Alec is finally back from his adventures in the wilderness. He'll be back with me on Wednesday, and then another tweet cap on Friday with the crew, and we'll see you all then. So let's have a great rest of the week, people. Peace out.
Have a good